you missed the first video, the first final water test failed, so hopefully we'll be more successful this time. Todd's with us. He's gonna be part of the crew.
On the good luck chart.
Yeah, hopefully. And we're just going to the ramp right up the street, so let's go get this thing in the water. And we're getting out here. It's about 20 after 5. Sun's just setting. This part closes up at dusk, so when we get back they might have locked us in, but we have a way out. I'm just waiting for Todd to get over here with after parking the trailer. We'll get underneath this bridge because it's too short for the tree, and then we'll fire up the show, and hopefully with if everything works out well, we'll be good to go. We'll be ready for tomorrow. We are all set up. The generators are going. The snowman's going. The communicating is communicating. We're getting ready to start the show here for the first time on the water. This place selected.
Listen up. Give me a go, no go for launch.
All the lights are working. Doing the startup sequence, testing all the motors. Well, on the way to go show off the boat, we had a generator die on us. It was just like, I don't know, you had to choke it to get it to start, and then when you try to throttle it down, I'm talking to the camera, it would just stall out. So we brought it, undisconnected it, brought it into the boat to look at it, and it started right back up. So try number 2.
Is there a switch on the side to turn on?
No, it's just that, yeah, that there's right down here on this side, you turn it all the way. So we're gonna get this thing fired back up and start the show again, and see if we can. I mean, this is why we do it, so we don't have this. Well, we're near the port where they do the lights, but we're having problems. That's why we do tests. Figure out the problems tonight, so we don't have to worry about them tomorrow, but we're definitely having problems out here. You can see the Santa's not going because it interferes with the frequency because of a generator that went down. I'll talk to you when it's not so. Well, we get the boat out, back on dry land, and now that I don't have to yell over fans and generators, we had an issue again with my router. Now, first issue came up is we have 2 generators. I had 2 generators because I was going to do the fog machine. The fog machine was 1,500 watts. The generator was a 2,000 watt generator, and that generator was going to pretty much isolate and use basically for the fog machine. So I had everything else plugged into the 3,200 watt generator. Had a communication issue with my router. The router wasn't putting out a steady IP address. There was interference with the signal or something. So that was the first water test. That was the problem. So what I did is I took out the fog machine and I isolated the Alpha Pixie box and the router on the 2,000 watt generator. Everything was working great in the driveway. We got the boat out on the water today. Everything was working great. All of a sudden, the 2,000 watt generator just died. What's going on? We tried to troubleshoot it. We got it to start up again. 10 minutes later, it died again. So it's unreliable. I'm not sure if it's a carburetor issue or I don't know. I'm not a small engine mechanic. I have no idea what's going on. But after it sits for a few minutes and maybe you move it around, I don't know if that makes any difference. You can start it back up, but then it only runs temporarily and then shuts back off. So we turned off the generator, hooked everything up to the 3,200 watt generator, and because we're not running the fog machine, we still have enough wattage availability to pump all of our lights, our fans, moving heads, everything off of the one generator. That's not a problem. But the problem is the router, sensitive electronic equipment, fluctuating voltage. I don't know what it possibly, some sort of induction interference. I don't know. But it's causing issues with the router. It's causing to not generate an IP address, or to, when it does generate an IP, it's interrupted signal or something to that nature. So we have the pixels are freezing. They're not in sync with the music, and it's causing an issue. What's the solution? Hopefully the solution is we have two options. First, I'm going to Walmart now to get a new router. Maybe there's just something wrong with the router. Maybe a new router has more, is more protected against this issue. It's not as sensitive. My router is old. It's tired. It's weak. Whatever. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of it anyway. But we have an inverter that hooks up to the cigarette lighter as well. So if we isolate this to the boat's power and run it off of inverter through the cigarette lighter of the boat, maybe that will be clean enough voltage to run that without issue. So that's what my goal is: go to Walmart, get a new router, test that out. I've got the inverter anyway, so that's always backup plan if this has an issue or if we have an issue tomorrow. I'm going to turn on all the fans, turn on all the lights, and run the show off the generator by itself with the new router, and hopefully that takes care of the issue. We're also making a couple adjustments. The Santa, the inflatable Santa thing, when you're driving forward, you create your own breeze, so you have an on, it was a still night. We had no wind or anything, but the Santa flew back and hit the snowman, which then fell. Luckily, it didn't break or anything like that, and didn't hit anybody. But I need to figure out a way to tie that snowman down. Also, I want to move the Santa forward, so I'm going to move him forward probably another 3 feet. This way that if he does come back, maybe he doesn't hit my moving heads or the snowman as hard, prevent that from possibly happening. And that will free up a little bit of space on the boat for people to stand. I'm going to do some more wire maintenance. I got to clean the boat tomorrow, and then we are leaving the house around noon tomorrow to go to Hope Sound, get in the water, go to Peanut Island, have some late lunch, early dinner, and then get ready for the parade. We have to be at the parade staging area at between 5:15 and 5:30, 5:15 and 5:45, something like that. Check the paperwork. But I'm really glad we went out tonight, and I'm glad if we have to fail. I wish we didn't fail, but if we had to fail, that we failed with time to fix it. So I'm going to head over to Walmart. Let's get this part. And this should do it. TP-Link AC 1200 dual band Wi-Fi router. This will give me the ability to have an IP address for my box and for my computer. All right, well, I'm happy to say that the new router fixed all the problems. So it's running great. The show is running smoother. There's not skipping or freezing, which is great. I had all the fans on, all the lights on, everything good to go. I do have the failsafe for the inverter. I'm going to bring that with us just in case. I have, well, Todd made a suggestion, and we went with it to raise this disco ball up. It doesn't look great, but it's raised up about 10 inches. This way, when we shine light on the ball, it actually shoots out over. When it was kind of below the ledge there, it was kind of being blocked. The lights weren't actually shooting straight out, so I had to reprogram all the songs to make sure that these moving heads shoot and hit the right spot now. What I'm going to work on now is building a belt for this that can go around this big section right here, and then we'll be able to tie this and attach it to that. And then these big fans, you see where they're at now? One was here, one was on that thing. We're going to get rid of that. We're going to move this, slide it up. Why is there a camera out here? We're going to slide this up to here, and we're going to put this one right here. So I got to get another piece of wood and a towel to just lay on the seat to make sure it doesn't get damaged. And this is going to make the Santa a little bit further away from the light up there, and then the snowman, because it did hit the snowman and came down pretty hard. So luckily nothing broke, no one got hurt. But we're going to do that. I can do that tomorrow, which I'll do, but I'm going to probably see if I can fabricate a belt for this. Things I got to do tomorrow. I'm going to clean up all the leaves. I'm going to clean up all the extra wires, make them as neat as possible, and I got to change this set of Christmas lights that it's out. But for tonight, I'm going to get all this equipment that can't get wet. I'm going to get it out, put away, and then we're going to work on building a belt for that tonight. Literally a belt, this one here, the woven kind that can be adjusted to any size. Just put it tight around the waist. It actually looks somewhat decent. So it's, and then a bungee cords just wrapped around the wood. They're not super tight, but it's tight enough for this to be able to prevent this from, looks like we did maybe break it a little, from popping off of this. So that'll work. That should do it.